Okay, so ready for another deep dive? Today we're going to be digging into something pretty amazing, spatial intelligence, and why it's going to completely change how we think about AI.
Yeah.
AI has gotten really good at certain things, like beating us at chess, or writing computer code,
Right.
but ask it to like navigate a room
Yeah.
full of furniture and it just falls apart.
It's true. Those things that as humans we take for granted, like how objects exist in 3D space,
Oh,
have been a
yeah,
huge stumbling block for AI.
exactly. But that's all changing thanks to some pretty groundbreaking work that's happening right now.
Yeah.
And to help us understand it all, we're going to be focusing on the work of Fei Fei Li. Now, she's, a leading figure in the AI world. She not only co-directs Stanford's Human-Centered AI Institute, but back in 2006, she created ImageNet.
Mm.
Have you heard of ImageNet?
Oh yeah, absolutely. ImageNet was huge. I mean,
Wow.
imagine giving a computer the ability to both see and label millions and millions of images for the first time.
Right.
That's what ImageNet did.
Wow.
And it really underpinned a lot of the AI advancements that we're seeing today.
Yeah, and she didn't stop there. So Lena founded this new company called World Labs, which is laser focused on spatial intelligence.
Yeah.
And get this, they just raised, I think it was $100 million in funding, according to the Financial Times.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really saying something. I
Yeah.
mean, that kind of investment is crucial because developing these advanced AI models, especially the hardware, it's incredibly expensive.
Yeah. So let's get down to it. What exactly is spatial intelligence? So Lai gave this fascinating TED Talk where she compared it to a time 540 million years ago, before sight existed.
Okay.
And so imagine a world of complete darkness. There's no understanding of light. There's no understanding of objects.
Right. It's hard to even wrap your head around, right?
It is.
And then you have the trilobites.
Blech.
They were the first creatures to actually develop sight, and then boom, the Cambrian explosion. There's
Right.
massive leap in evolution and intelligence. And so Lai's point is that spatial intelligence could do the same for AI.
Wow.
It's like we're giving AI that same ability to see and interact with the world in 3D.
It's like giving it eyes, basically.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's fascinating because, like, you think about reaching for a glass of water, right?
Uh-huh.
Your brain instantly processes the shape of the glass, how full it is, where your hand is in relation to it.
Absolutely.
And AI, up until very recently, could barely grasp any of that.
Right, exactly. And so Lai's team they're tackling this head on. So they're training robots in these incredibly detailed simulated 3D environments,
Right.
teaching them to interact with objects in ways that are just increasingly more and more complex.
And the results are pretty mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah.
In her TED Talk, Lai gave some pretty cool examples of this technology in action. Like, there are researchers using algorithms to turn a simple 2D photo into a complete 3D model.
Wow.
Like, they're recreating entire spaces digitally.
Yeah, and think about what you could do with that, right? Architects could use it to visualize a new building, or you could virtually step inside like a historical landmark from your living room.
Right. Or
Yeah, I mean, the possibilities are really quite huge.
it's incredible.
Yeah.
And it's not just about recreating what exists, though. Like, I also talked about this program that can take a sentence like, I want a cozy living room,
Right.
and generate a 3D layout, like with furniture and everything.
Yeah. That's amazing. It's like it understands not just the spatial relationships, but also like human intentions and aesthetics. Imagine what that could mean for design.
Right.
Especially for people who maybe can't use traditional design tools.
Oh, absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, the applications for this are...
Yeah, it's incredible.
And like even talked about this thing, it's called robotic language intelligence,
Okay.
where researchers were actually able to get a robotic arm to assemble a sandwich
Yeah.
just by giving it verbal instructions.
Yeah.
Like a sandwich?
That's pretty incredible when you think about it, right? I mean, it sounds simple enough,
Right.
but the amount of spatial reasoning that has to go into that. The robot has to
Yeah.
identify the ingredients. It has to understand their properties, like how, bread bends, and then manipulate them in the right sequence, all based on language.
It's unbelievable. It really shows how the spatial intelligence can work together with other AI capabilities, like natural language processing,
Right.
to kind of create something totally new.
Absolutely. I mean, this kind of synergy is going to be really key, I think, in unlocking some incredible possibilities. I mean, Lane even talks about a future where, AI isn't just performing these tasks, but it's actually collaborating with us in fields like healthcare, for instance.
Mhm. Yeah, not just like robots delivering meds, which would be amazing in itself.
Right, exactly. She's talking about AI-assisted surgery,
Right?
where robots with this advanced spatial understanding can operate with incredible precision. I mean, imagine a future where robotic surgeons could navigate, that delicate structure of the human body with even more accuracy than a human surgeon, minimizing risk
Well,
and improving outcomes for patients.
that's really amazing. And then there's like the potential for helping people with disabilities. Like Lai's actually working on using brainwaves to control robotic limbs.
Wow.
Yeah,
That sounds like something out of science fiction.
it
But
does.
it really is, it's a glimpse into a future, I think, where physical limitations might not be so limiting anymore.
Right,
Oh.
right. It's both incredibly exciting and just a little bit daunting.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that really underscores the need for developing this technology thoughtfully, and
Yeah.
responsibly. We have to make sure that these advances are accessible and that we're using them for the right reasons.
We've come a long way from AI barely being able to recognize a cat in a photo
Mhm.
to talking about robots that can perform surgery. It feels like we're really on the verge of something truly transformative.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very exciting time to be following this
Oh,
field.
absolutely. It's incredible. And that's what's so fascinating about this whole thing with spatial intelligence. It's not just
Yeah,
about making AI smarter.
yeah.
It's about fundamentally changing how it interacts with the actual world.
Exactly, exactly. It's like we're giving it a physical presence, a
Yeah.
way to not just, understand, but actually manipulate the world around it in
Yeah.
a way that, I don't know, 5, 10 years ago, we couldn't even imagine.
It really makes you think like, what can't AI do if it can like actually perceive the world and interact with the world the way that we do?
Right. Exactly.
This could
Yeah.
change everything from like, manufacturing and logistics to like how we design our homes, how we design cities.
And what about exploration?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, imagine robots with this kind of spatial intelligence
Right.
exploring like the depths of the ocean or navigating the surface of Mars,
Oh,
sending back all this data, these insights that it would be impossible for humans to gather.
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time, I think.
It really is. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
I mean, we went from like the history of sight to robots making sandwiches.
I know, it's incredible how much progress has been made
It really is.
in such a short time.
Yeah, absolutely. But as we kind of resurface from our deep dive here into spatial intelligence, um, here's something I want you to think about. If AI can really truly understand the physical world, like we do, what new possibilities does that open up?
That's the question, isn't it? What problems could we solve that right now seem completely impossible?
It's a future full of potential.
It is.
And it's really up to, I guess, up to us to kind of shape it responsibly.
I think so, yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's really important to keep in mind with all of this.
Absolutely. Well, who knows what other amazing discoveries kind of await us out there in the world of AI, right?
Who knows, yeah. I'm excited to see what happens next.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.